Hello my lovelies, it's Catherine and I'm here with number 3. Are we number 3, David?
Yep.
Yeah, number 3 of my small projects, and today I'm going to do stamping on a roll of fabric. Now this isn't my idea and loads of people have done this, but what jogged my memory was I was watching, again it was Jeanette at My Cottage Crafts. She was showing the piece that she'd received from Sarah Roxborough from Roxy Creations by Sarah. She'd sent her, because they're all in this slow stitch collaboration with Anne Brooks, and she sent, I'm sure it was Jeanette, she sent them a beautiful, I mean it was a beautiful piece that she'd done anyway, this slow stitch, but she'd sent a beautiful roll of stamped images, and so it sort of reminded me that that'd be something that's easy to do when you're not having to think about it, because we're just doing easy things that we can do while we're not thinking too much, aren't we? So yeah, so I thought we'd do a bit of that today. So I gathered some different material. I've got some cotton, I've got some calico, and I think, have I got a bit of linen? I don't think I had any. Yeah, it's a bit more cotton than linen, I think, but I just ripped it up into strips. And of course, do bear in mind that you will get different results using different fabrics, and the closer, for this sort of thing really, the closer the weave the better, because you get a clearer image stamped on. So I've pulled out a few of my little stamps. I had a little birdie somewhere and now it's that small, it's disappeared. Yeah, I've got a few of these which I've collected over time. You can get them on a sheet quite inexpensive from, if you're in the UK, from the Works, but the other stamps that I really like, and these are a couple of new ones that I've got, are the Woodware Craft Collection, and I think they're really beautiful. There's another one here which is all the critters, and they are lovely stamps. Now obviously they do need to go on a stamping block, or just stamp it, you know, yourself, but they are nice and thick. You can tell the quality from the plastic, say that these are from, crikey, because I've not used this. That's not bad actually, from the Works, but yeah, they're certainly not the same quality when you start looking at it, but obviously it's, you pay your price, so that's what, you know, you do get better. So seeing as this has come off, will it go on my little stamp? Now when they're new they stick on quite well, but the other trick, and sorry if I'm teaching you all to shuck eggs, suck them even, put a bit of your glue stick on. That is the best way, if you don't want it to move off you know, this is fine because it's sticking really well because it's new, but stick it on with a bit of glue stick and then you just wash it and it comes off, and it gives you a nice clear image. The other thing I would invest in is a little, I feel that squidgy on there, is a stamping mat. Now I know there are all these expensive stamping platforms, etc. They weren't out when I used to do card making, but I mean I think if you're doing a lot of card making, a lot of stamping, they're a good investment, but for me it's not worth it for what I do. But it's worth it to get yourself a little stamping mat, because you can see the difference. There is a better image if you use a stamping mat. Got some ferns here as well. I think these were just cheap off Amazon. So say for example, I can put my nail varnish on again, look, because I'm not using Fabri-Tac today. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll see how long it lasts. Right, okay, got a bit of a smidgen where I've printed a couple of bits on there, so let's do it without the mat. Now what I've got out, I've got this distressing, which is, this is brand new, and guys, this is Tim Holtz distressing, and I know everybody loves these. This is the tea dye. There's hardly any. I've tried stamping with it and it's rubbish. There's hardly any juice on it. Hardly any. You can hardly... So it looks like I'm going to have to get a re-inker. Look, it's rubbish. Sorry. I think I've ended up with a dud one. But I've got an archival link, so obviously if you want something that's going to last, that's not going to be smudged with, if you put in any of the mediums and what have, you want archival. But I do love the VersaFine for fine small details, and this is in the brown sepia antigua. So this is sepia, or sepia as we say. And right, so we're going to have a go with this, and I'll have a bit of paper. I just want to show you using the mat. Okay, now the other thing, because I did go on a few courses for stamping, is pick it up and nicely just tap your pad. Now the reason why this is the best is that it doesn't wear your stamps out and it doesn't cause problems with your ink, because if some people like to just smear it across, and actual fact you will start to see wear on the corners of your stamps if you do that regularly. Actual fact, I think this wants to be on a bit thicker. I've got a bit thicker. I've already done a couple there, so let's do it on here, and I'm going to press. Now just firm even pressure. You don't need to be rocking it and rolling it, just firm even pressure, and count to about 10 for the ink to take to the fabric, and then take it off and you've got a beautiful stamp. Now I'm going to show you on let's see if we could do it on the paper. Whoops, I'm getting it everywhere. So if we just tap it on there, and we'll do it without the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now yes, that's a pretty good image, but I don't think it's as sharp. If you look at it, it's not as sharp as that one. You've got some little fading around here, so you know, it's fine if you haven't got a mat, but and they're only a few pounds, so it's worth getting it. You just get a let's stamp that off now then. Get my wiper. So that's my bird cage. So that's it basically. We'll just have a play and a stamp away. Have a play, stamp away. Is that supposed to be rhyming? Right, I've got some other little blocks as well that I've had in various times, and I find that these thicker ones are nice. This is one I've had years and years when I was card making, but it's a bit hard to let's put that on there. A bit hard to hold with the thinner ones. So the other thing I find as well is you don't get so much ink around your see, I like to wipe that off, otherwise that could be stamped on your image. So let's try this one, because this is a new. That's a nice one. I do like this. To me it's a bit darker than sepia, because we've got some old photos, sepia photos, that you know, like our grandparents when they were younger, were all over me. Tips of me. That's perhaps a new style. Tips of sepia on the edge of your nail varnish. Right, let's have a look now then. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. That's really nice. I'm going to do a few of them actually. These were just I don't think they were a big known brand on Amazon. There's more on me, didn't there? And see, I think some of this is using this thin one. You get more on you than not. So I'm going to go on to my other one. I'm not keen on that. So let's have our birdie. Also there's grids on these which help you to get them a bit straighter. Does he just fit on? Yes, he does. He does just fit on. Now then. Tap, 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 tap. He's quite new, so we'll give him an outing on the paper. There we go. So hope you're all good. Hope you've had a go at the other projects that, throwing it at myself now, the other little projects that we did earlier in the week. And nothing much exciting to tell you. The weather's back to being dismal. Yay, look at that. Now, the other thing is that I don't know if people... I'll do another one of them. I wonder if that'll fit on there. Yes, it might do. Let's have one on that roll. I wonder if those that are card makers and such like will know this. But did you realise that you can... your brush markers, so brush marker pens, can be used to colour your stamps in different colours. I don't know if any of you are aware of that. Let me see if they're handy. If they're handy, I will get a few out. It might be. I don't think I have. I think they're all in the loft. I've got a trolley in the loft that I take to sew in, and I think, is that one? No. Next time we do some stamp. Oh yes, I've got one here. That's they're very old though, these. I've had these years, so how good it is, I don't know. Okay, so these are Marvy brush markers in pine green. So say for example, shall we get something that's got a bit of greenery on it? Say you haven't got a green stamp, but you want this fern to be green. Something a bit wider, doesn't fit on there. Let's have me wider one then. Right, okay. So, I'm going to put it on my big one. And you brush over the top with your ink markers, brush markers. Because you might not have a green ink, but you fancy doing these because you think it's a fern, say. I'm not sure it is, it's grasses, but you know, pretend it's a fern. So like that, we just get the bits off that we don't want around the edge, and then we press it on there. Don't know how much it'll work because they must be 20 years old, these brush markers. There we go. Yes, yay! See how beautiful that looks, and that's just from this. Now they're worth having because I think you can use them for all sorts of projects, and you know, they make up for... Now if I got another colour, say you didn't want the ends to be green, we just want these flowers to be, say we want these edges to be brown. Now you're better off using a brown, but I don't think I have got another brush one here. See, I don't want to use one that isn't a brush marker because it may stay on my stamp. Oh, go on, we'll try. It's not the right one, but... Right, okay, so let's just brush these ends in a different colour. And stamp. There we go, and you've got your different colour ends. Let's see if I can get it off now. Or else I'm going to Paper Mania metallic pens. I've probably got that for life now, stuck on my thing now. It's coming off. It's coming off. You can't, it doesn't do it quite as good as if you used a marker, but look at the detail on that. And so that's where these come in to their own, because you can buy a full set of these in all sorts of an array of colours, and you know, just gives you a little bit of added detail to your stamping. I mean, they're just, you know, you just get your scissors then and you just cut a bit off. I'm going to cut this end off here. Sorry I knocked you. Oh crikey, look at this. Strands of blinking cotton everywhere. Oh, it gets in way. Right, what's happened to my other bit? That's it, my roll. Look at this. Just hoovered up in here because it was getting bad. Right, so that we could roll up round a bobbin. I think Sarah did hers round a bobbin. I haven't got one. So we'll just go like that, and then when you're doing a project you can just unroll it. So this one, for example, have we got a book here? I haven't, but I'll use, no, they're all covers, these. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. I've got this one that I've started. Not done anything with it yet, but say for example, that would be nice on your page. Look how pretty that looks if you're doing a nature journal. So that's with using your brush marker pens. Yeah, so we'll do a couple more, and then you have a go yourself. Have a play around. We've got these ones which are like stamps, and have in here, I've seen it this morning, a postcard. So I've just got some here that I've, I think these were probably from one of Rachel's kits, but I want to stamp. So say we want to put a stamp on there, and I think we will use black archival. Black archival. Black archival. I don't know. Now these are a bit of a mess because I haven't got a block. I've got a big block, but I haven't got it out. So best laid plans are not going to work, are they? Let's look at mess here. Right, let's see. We'll do a bit of stamping there. There we go. It would look better, I think, if we did this on its own. So stamp that on there. That's better. See, I try to manage without them blocks, but they're worth investing in, even if you only buy a set of 3. They give you better. That's better. Wipe any excess off so you don't get that all over, and we will put that on there. There we go. Jobs are good 'un, as they say. Jobs are good 'un. And just a faint one on there. So I'm pleased with that. So they can go back in. And then finally, what else shall we put? It's a messy business though, isn't it? Because once you start using black archival stuff, it's a devil. Right, I'm really pleased with that. That's really nice. So what else can we just finally finish off with? We've got our bird, we've got our thing on there, and then this thin one. Let's have a look. Got a butterfly. Peter Rabbit here. Isn't he cute? Look, Peter Rabbit. Got that from the range. That's from the range in the UK. In a set of bits and bobs. So let's have our bunny. Our bunny rabbit. They are brown, aren't they, mostly? The kids that had a rabbit. Our Joe did. Adam was older then, so he weren't that bothered, but they both had press. They both had lovely little hamsters. They're lovely little pets, hamsters. But Joe had this rabbit called Thomas Rabbit. And of course then when they leave and go off to university, you know, you end up looking after them, don't you? Gorgeous, look at him. And then of course then you could fill him in, you know, you could fill his coat in. You could fill his coat in blue. So that's where that had come in. If you wanted to fill that in blue, you could use your brush marker to fill that in blue and give him a nice coloured coat. So there we go. a rather messy play today, but that's good. I'm enjoying this. So I'm just going to carry on finishing these rolls off. Yeah, I haven't got any bobbins at the minute. I mean, what you do, I've got one that's full. It's got my cotton on, but yeah. So let's just cut that off. And then you just wind them round. You could either do it that way, or you could do it where you can't see it till you unravel it that way. And just keep them, put a little pin in there. Little pin in it. When you're ready for it, open it out and choose your image. So there we go. And you could just, you know, you could just spend a few hours just stamping them up and watching the world go by, if you can see out your window, and just relax. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, keep safe out there, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.